Alright, so we're gonna compare last week's results to this week's. So we know I like to trade both USD, JPY, and gold more. So to start out this week, we already knew there was a big move coming. So they started out, well, basically they made you think that they was focusing more on the buy. So they sold, gapped up just to trick you, and then they sold hard, and then bought hard, trying to trap you over the weekend with a buy. As soon as Sunday hits, boom, they created a gap, dropped hard, but we know the gap's a dead giveaway that they're going to come back at some point. But with the huge move coming, we know it's not going to be immediate. So they dropped hard and then consolidated. So they also took their time trying to hit the stop losses. They know there's going to be some smart people trying to get this W out the way, and then they just went up. It basically came down after creating the M. There was also a trend line here at, wait, what am I doing? Whoops. I'm going for the channel, not the trend line. But let me delete that real quick. So it also created a trend line here. So basically came here, formed the M, drop. That's how you would have caught that M. So we also have another strong trend line going up right here. So that's another confirmation that it's going to bounce off that line. Not to mention it's Tuesday, and then this is a multi-session W. So we know about multi-session W's. So if it's a W right here, so too many W's, this is pretty big. It's in its own. A big M and another W in between sessions. We know what it's doing. Right in between London and New York. That's when the really big move came, where it was in the white box. So we know the white box is, say, a stop hunt zone. So basically it was in here trying to hit the stops. Not to mention, this W was the previous low of the week. So this wick right here, previous low of the week. It did not hit that at all. It stopped at that trend line instead. So basically, right after it was done playing around, huge move up. Even broke that trend line. So we definitely know it wasn't no downtrend anymore. So change of trend, going up, even made a channel. So actually, it was a weird channel, but boom. So it's going up. Yes, it came back for a second, but if you put your horizontal lines here, you would have known it was going to come back. Yes, there's a channel here. If you made your channel lines as well, that would have helped too. Actually, no. Well, this would have helped more because you couldn't see the channel that early yet. But bounced off, also hit the box, and basically also with it being a long wick, it's just trying to hit the stops, trying to hit your stop loss, trying to trap traders, and induce you to sell, and then it went long again. These are aggressive moves. It's going to last a long time, and we also know it's typically going to be 3 days of rides, especially with it being this type of structure. So it's Friday. Of course, we know it's a trap day. it created a head and shoulders to try to trap traders over the weekend into a sell. Yes, it's looking shady at this point, but it's just going to come back, personally, and meet the trend again, and then it's just going to keep rolling. Not to mention trend line. So there's multiple confirmations, but more could happen. I'll show you the more. Actually, no, I might as well just go ahead and go to. Actually, I'll show you now. So at this point, it could potentially go down lower and create a bigger W if it wanted to, or it could continue on its trend line if it, like, overall channel. Whoops. Channel. Multiple ways that can go. Channel, come back in the channel, and then just bounce around and just keep rolling up. Or it can come down, make a bigger W if it wanted to, just to meet that structure again and just play with people's emotions and then just keep growing. But why I see this more likely, it's all in gold. Gold is also a part of my analysis. So how did gold play out? It was, will admit, it was really confusing this week. So if you paid more attention to USD/JPY and used that as part of your analysis, that would have helped you a lot. But it was pretty obvious all on its own as well. So even it had a gap. So we got to keep in mind, we know the gaps in the confirmation. It shot up hard. There was a trend line up there that it bounced off of. It came down here, and then we had a horizontal line over here, so it just bounced off of support. So this is Sunday into Monday, consolidated as it usually does, made it seem like it was going to be a W and just go up, but another trend line right here, and it also made a really nice channel. Oops. Yeah, made a really nice channel here. But we know channels sometimes go out. That's how you know it's a fake out and a good position to actually try to come back in. Even though it exits, you can find other extra opportunities. But we're looking for more sales anyway, so we're going to go for more the top side. So once it comes back up, you could have jumped in another lot. Comes back up, you could have jumped in another one if you wanted to. There was multiple opportunities to enter. Even here, it's the closing. Friday, it's closing. We know it's going down. And overall, we see that pattern here. M. It's dropping. But even when we were waiting in anticipation, it never broke the structure. It kept making higher lows. It never broke the previous high of the week. Each day, it came up again, but it never broke it. So you know it's good for the sell still. So long-term sell. Like I said, I'm still going for the 11 45 mark on that one. And then we're going to go, for USD JPY, I'm still good here. I'm going for more of the 117 mark. Well, I'm going right here. I could potentially go for 118 or 122. We'll see how it all plays out. It's really dependent on where gold is at the time still, because we know they play major part with each other. But it's still in the channel, yes, but it could have still came up here if it wanted to. Instead of making like a head and shoulders, it could have made a bigger M if it wanted to. But I see more of the channel type deal, and then for a little bit, and then just drop. Inevitable. So hopefully, guys, you are still holding yourselves, or you can still find another opportunity for it if you would like. I mean, this is a good trade. It should last, I would say, a good 3 weeks to a month, 30 days maybe. We'll see how this plays out. But keep in mind, even if you have a live account, I'd say even a 2-cent trade is good. That could bring your account up to a good $200. 1 cent lot, that would bring you up to about $100 to your account. 3 cent. Just don't go too large unless you can get yourself a really good entry. That's all I have to say. I mean, find your peaks. Get really good about your entries. That's how you're going to get the most money out of this. And then when you're adding lots, just get it out of the best entry possible, even when you're doing that. So, like in this case, if I caught it here, I would have dropped it here, 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 like basically at the top of the channels. That would have been the best opportunity to add in this a lot if I did that. Even now, the opportunity is just to add another sell. You know it's going to drop. It's inevitable at this point. So, and there's one more that I think I wanted to give you guys a hint about. No, that's okay. I could always post it in the group, but yeah, now you know what to look for in your trades, what to expect next week. So even next week, I'd say just look for a peak high. Well, for gold, look for a good peak on the high side. For USD JPY, look for a peak on a low. That's all you really have to do, and then just hold it, and then just leave it alone.